Preamble. His Majesty the King of the Belgians, the President of the Czech Republic, Her Majesty the Queen of Denmark, the President of the Federal Republic of Germany, the President of the Republic of Estonia, the President of the Hellenic Republic, His Majesty the King of Spain, the President of the French Republic, the President of Ireland, the President of the Italian Republic, the President of the Republic of Cyprus, the President of the Republic of Latvia, the President of the Republic of Lithuania, His Royal Highness the Grand Duke of Luxembourg, the President of the Republic of Hungary, the President of Malta, Her Majesty the Queen of the Netherlands, the Federal President of the Republic of Austria, the President of the Republic of Poland, the President of the Portuguese Republic, the President of the Republic of Slovenia, the President of the Slovak Republic, the President of the Republic of Finland, the Government of the Kingdom of Sweden, Her Majesty the Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, and Northern Ireland, drawing inspiration from the cultural, religious and humanist inheritance of Europe, from which have developed the universal values of the inviolable and inalienable rights of the human person, freedom, democracy, equality and the rule of law, believing that Europe, reunited after bitter experiences, intends to continue along the path of civilization, progress and prosperity, for the good of all its inhabitants, including the weakest and most deprived, that it wishes to remain a continent open to culture, learning and social progress, and that it wishes to deepen the democratic and transparent nature of its public life, and to strive for peace, justice and solidarity throughout the world, convinced that, while remaining proud of their own national identities and history, the peoples of Europe are determined to transcend their former divisions, and, united ever more closely, to forge a common destiny, convinced that, thus united in diversity, Europe offers them the best chance of pursuing, with due regard for the rights of each individual, and an awareness of their responsibilities toward future generations, and the earth, the great venture, which makes of it a special area of human hope, determined to continue the work accomplished within the framework of the treaties, establishing the European communities, and the Treaty on European Union, by ensuring the continuity of the community acquis, grateful to the members of the European Convention for having prepared the draft of this constitution on behalf of the citizens, and states of Europe, Part I Title I Definition, and Objectives of the Union Article I1. Establishment of the Union 1. Reflecting the will of the citizens and states of Europe to build a common future, this constitution establishes the European Union, on which the member states confer competences to attain objectives they have in common. The Union shall coordinate the policies by which the member states aim to achieve these objectives, and shall exercise on a community basis the competences they confer on it. 2. The Union shall be open to all European states, which respect its values, and are committed to promoting them together. Article I2. The Union's values. The Union is founded on the values of respect for human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, and respect for human rights, including the rights of persons belonging to minorities. These values are common to the member states in a society in which pluralism, non-discrimination, tolerance, justice, solidarity and equality between women and men prevail. Article I3. The Union's objectives. 1. The Union's aim is to promote peace, its values, and the well-being of its peoples. 2. The Union shall offer its citizens an area of freedom, security and justice without internal frontiers, and an internal market, where competition is free and undistorted. 3. The Union shall work for the sustainable development of Europe based on balanced economic growth and price stability, a highly competitive social market economy, aiming at full employment and social progress, and a high level of protection and improvement of the quality of the environment. It shall promote scientific and technological advance. It shall combat social exclusion and discrimination, and shall promote social justice and protection, equality between women and men, solidarity between generations, and protection of the rights of the child. It shall promote economic, social and territorial cohesion and solidarity among member states. It shall respect its rich cultural and linguistic diversity, and shall ensure that Europe's cultural heritage is safeguarded and enhanced. 4. In its relations with the wider world, the Union shall uphold and promote its values and interests. It shall contribute to peace, security, the sustainable development of the earth, solidarity and mutual respect among peoples, free and fair trade, eradication of poverty, and the protection of human rights, in particular the rights of the child, as well as to the strict observance and the development of international law, including respect for the principles of the United Nations Charter. 5. The Union shall pursue its objectives by appropriate means commensurate with the competences which are conferred upon it in the Constitution. Article I4. Fundamental freedoms and non-discrimination. 1. The free movement of persons, services, goods and capital, and freedom of establishment shall be guaranteed within and by the Union, in accordance with the Constitution. 2. Within the scope of the Constitution, and without prejudice to any of its specific provisions, any discrimination on grounds of nationality shall be prohibited. Article I5. Relations between the Union and the member states. 1. The Union shall respect the equality of member states before the Constitution as well as their national identities, inherent in their fundamental structures, political and constitutional, inclusive of regional and local self-government. It shall respect their essential state functions, including ensuring the territorial integrity of the state, maintaining law and order, and safeguarding national security. 2. Pursuant to the principle of sincere cooperation, the Union and the member states shall, in full mutual respect, assist each other in carrying out tasks which flow from the Constitution. The member states shall take any appropriate measure, general or particular, to ensure fulfillment of the obligations arising out of the Constitution, or resulting from the acts of the institutions of the Union. The member states shall facilitate the achievement of the Union's tasks, and refrain from any measure which could jeopardize the attainment of the Union's objectives. Article I-6. Union Law. The Constitution, and law adopted by the institutions of the Union and exercising competences conferred on it shall have primacy over the law of the member states. 18 Part I Treaty, establishing a Constitution for Europe. 19 Article I-7. Legal personality. The Union shall have legal personality. Article I-8. The symbols of the Union. The flag of the Union shall be a circle of 12 golden stars on a blue background. The anthem of the Union shall be based on the Ode to Joy from the Ninth Symphony by Ludwig van Beethoven. The motto of the Union shall be, United in Diversity. The currency of the Union shall be the Euro. Europe Day shall be celebrated on 9 May throughout the Union. Title II. Fundamental Rights and Citizenship of the Union. Article I-9. Fundamental Rights. 1. The Union shall recognize the rights, freedoms and principles set out in the Charter of Fundamental Rights, which constitutes Part 2. 2. The Union shall accede to the European Convention for the Protection of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms. Such accession shall not affect the Union's competences as defined in the Constitution. 3. Fundamental rights, as guaranteed by the European Convention for the Protection of Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms, and as they result from the constitutional traditions common to the member states, shall constitute general principles of the Union's law. Article I-10. Citizenship of the Union. 1. Every national of a member state shall be a citizen of the Union. Citizenship of the Union shall be additional to national citizenship, and shall not replace it. 2. Citizens of the Union shall enjoy the rights and be subject to the duties provided for in the Constitution. They shall have, a. the right to move and reside freely within the territory of the member states, b. the right to vote and to stand as candidates in elections to the European Parliament, and in municipal elections in their member state of residence, under the same conditions as nationals of that state, c. the right to enjoy, in the territory of a third country in which the member state of which they are nationals is not represented, the protection of the diplomatic and consular authorities of any member state on the same conditions as the nationals of that state, d. the right to petition the European Parliament, to apply to the European Ombudsman, and to address the institutions and advisory bodies of the Union in any of the Constitution's languages, and to obtain a reply in the same language. These rights shall be exercised in accordance with the conditions and limits defined by the Constitution, and by the measures adopted thereunder. Title III. Union Competences. Article I-11. Fundamental Principles. 1. The limits of Union competences are governed by the principle of conferral. The use of Union competences is governed by the principles of subsidiarity and proportionality. 2. Under the principle of conferral, the Union shall act within the limits of the competences conferred upon it by the member states in the Constitution to attain the objectives set out in the Constitution. Competences not conferred upon the Union in the Constitution remain with the member states. 3. Under the principle of subsidiarity, in areas which do not fall within its exclusive competence, the Union shall act only if, and insofar as the objectives of the proposed action cannot be sufficiently achieved by the member states, either at central level or at regional and local level, but can rather, by reason of the scale or effects of the proposed action, be better achieved at Union level. The institutions of the Union shall apply the principle of subsidiarity as laid down in the Protocol on the application of the principles of subsidiarity and proportionality. National parliaments shall ensure compliance with that principle in accordance with the procedure set out in that protocol. 4. Under the principle of proportionality, the content and form of Union action shall not exceed what is necessary to achieve the objectives of the Constitution. 20 Part I. The institutions of the Union shall apply the principle of proportionality as laid down in the Protocol on the application of the principles of subsidiarity and proportionality.